Hey, what's up everybody? I'm here to give you guys a WWE All Talk video. Pretty much I'm going to be reviewing Smackdown from January 24th, 2020 and 205 Live, and then I'm going to do my Royal Rumble predictions. I figured it'd just be easier just for me to put them all in one video. And I'll just let you know that this video is being recorded on January 26th, 2020, and it's 12:43 right now in the morning. So you're probably not going to see this video until after the Royal Rumble. But I figured I'd get it out there so I can get my Royal Rumble picks out there and stuff. So let's go through these shows and such. So starting with SmackDown from January 24th, we had the WWE.com exclusives just telling us, just kind of previewing the show, telling us everything that was going to happen. Then we had the show. We had Corey Graves and Michael Cole on commentary for this show. We had the intro, and I really don't like it because I don't like the song. So there you go. I kicked off with the Bloodline versus King Corbin, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler. I really didn't care much for this match. I like the fact that they started SmackDown with a match, but this match was just really not all that good. Right off the bat, I think it was Jey Uso hurts his knee, and Dolph Ziggler zigzags him into the steps, so he gets taken out. So it's down to just a 2-on-3 disadvantage. They get the heat on one of the Usos for a long time. Then eventually, when Roman's trying to get his hot tag, Kid Corbin takes him out and throws him over the barricade, and then Roman Reigns eventually gets the hot tag. But then they get the heat on him, and they beat him down forever. Then they take out the other Jimmy Uso, I think, and then Jey Uso runs back down. Roman Reigns and King Corbin fight into the crowd and just brawl. So then eventually Jimmy Uso hits the Samoan Splash on Robert Roode for the win. This made no sense at all that the heels lost, considering the fact that they were out a guy and had a guy injured in the match. So it really didn't make much sense, and you really should have had King Corbin going in with some heat on Roman Reigns, since I expect him to lose the Falls Count Anywhere match. So really didn't care much for any of this at all. It lasted way too long too, so didn't care for that. Then Michael Cole interviews Lacey Evans. He does it on the stage, which is the AEW effect, because obviously AEW does all their promos interviews that way. And Lacey Evans talks about her past, her, father losing the battle to drug addictions, and her thoughts on the Boston Hug connection messing with her daughter, and says that was really upsetting, and she said that she's going to use that to win the SmackDown Women's title at the Royal Rumble. Then afterwards, Bayley attacks her from behind and leaves. The segment, Lacey Evans' delivery was good. What I didn't like about it is the questions that Michael Cole was asking just sounded so scripted, and they should have done this segment a while ago when Lacey Evans actually turned face, so that way we would be able to get behind her, but now it's too late. They waited too long, and yeah, that was that. And the brawl, what was terrible about the brawl was Lacey Evans recovered and just didn't go after Bayley. Made no sense. So then Carmella and Dana Brooke get interviewed. They talk about how they're going to be in the Royal Rumble. Carmella says that she's achieved all this stuff and now is going to use that to win the Rumble. Dana Brooke says that I've already read your Wikipedia page, but I'm going to win the Royal Rumble to prove that I actually belong here. And then we see Bayley and Lacey Evans are still brawling, and it gets broken up by Dana Brooke, Carmelo, and other security guards. So then we had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire. The match never really got going. Lacey Evans and Bayley continue their brawl. The match gets thrown out, and they all have like a Royal Rumble style brawl, so really didn't care much for that. Then Alexa Bliss heated, is heated about this, and we find out that Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are going to be in the Royal Rumble now, so there you go. Elias is backstage, and Braun Strowman's like, ready to go to work, and he's like, yep. Then we had Elias and Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro with Sami Zayn ringside. Skipped this match, did not care about it. I knew that Cesaro and Nakamura were losing. That's exactly what happened. Could have cared less. Then Big E is getting oiled up for his match, and it was pretty funny. So there you go. So then we had King Corbin backstage, and he says that he's going to defeat Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble match. So there you go. Then Kofi Kingston with Big E versus John Morrison with The Miz. Morrison and Miz come out and say that he says, how dare the universe boo John Morrison on his return. He said that he hasn't changed because he's still showing people his life outside of WWE with Miz and Mrs. and declares him and Morrison in the Royal Rumble match. Then we had this match. It was actually a very good match. You had a lot of spots where they were both trying to outdo each other by landing on their feet. But eventually The Miz attacks Big E. He chases The Miz around, and Kofi hits a Trouble in Paradise on The Miz, and John Morrison hits a running blow to the back of the head and the Starship Pain for the win. Like the fact that John Morrison won, that made sense since, he's just come back, and I really wish they were having a match at the Rumble for the Smackdown tag titles, but it's not happening, so whatever. But I like this. Then they did a promo talking about how they're going to regroup themselves. Then we had the strap match, contract signing. I really like this segment. Daniel Bryan comes out, and then Michael Cole, who's hosting this, goes to bring out The Fiend. But instead, the Mr. Rogers version of Bray Wyatt's up on the screen. He's trying to fax the contract over to Daniel Bryan in WWE, but his fax breaks, so he tries to call customer service. Daniel Bryan says that he's sick of Bray Wyatt using this to hide from his problems and hide from his mistakes, and we find out that was the word of the day, and he said that he's not going to go sign the contract, The Fiend is, and then the lights go out, and The Fiend comes into the ring, attacks Daniel Bryan, hits the mandible claw onto him, rips him with the strap, and hits the Sister Abigail on him, and then he stabs the pen into his hand and signs the contract, and that was the end of the show. I really enjoyed this segment. I thought it was a great way to build to their match at the Royal Rumble. And yeah, I'm excited about it. Daniel Bryan has a new t-shirt now. And it's an organically friendly t-shirt. And every time you buy a t-shirt, a tree is going to get planted, which is cool. But yeah, that was SmackDown. Really didn't enjoy this show all that much. The only thing I really enjoyed was just the last 15 minutes with Kofi versus Morrison and the contract signing. Everything else was shit. Really don't watch it. So I'm going to have to give this a D. I'm going to give it a 65 out of 100. Not going to probably give it a D+. I really didn't enjoy the show. They really didn't do a whole lot to hype me up for the Royal Rumble match. So there you go. So yeah, let's now get to 205 Live. That aired on the same date. We had Aiden English and John Quasto on commentary. It kicked right off with Tyler Breeze versus Alia Daivari. Very good match here. I really enjoyed this match. Eventually, Tyler Breeze wins with the beauty shot, but they really had a very good back and forth match. Afterwards, and I like that Tyler Breeze won. Actually, he didn't win with a beauty shot. He won with a roll-up. But I like that he won, considering the fact that, it keeps Tyler Breeze gaining momentum, and it actually ties in later on in the show. Because the next segment, Alia Daivari's backstage, and the Brian Kendrick comes up to him and says, and pretty much forms an alliance with him, saying that I helped you out, you can help me out, and we can take out the new guys. So then we had the Brian Kendrick versus Danny Burch. Really enjoyed this match. Danny Burch beats him up throughout the beginning portion of this matchup, but then Kendrick throws him into the steps, gets him in the captain's hook. Danny Burch mounts a comeback, and he's on the verge of winning, but then eventually Alia Daivari runs out and attacks him, and Kendrick rolls him up and uses Daivari for leverage to get the pinfall, and that was that. I really enjoyed this. I think we're setting up like a nice faction on 205 Live, where it's going to be the originals, like the 205 Live originals going up against like the new stars of 205. So I think they're going to get Tony Nese in this group. I would like him to put Gallagher in this group since he was an original, and you can get a lot of people from like the new recruits like Isaiah Swerve Scott, Danny Burch, Leo Rush, and Tyler Breeze, or Orny Lorcan, since Orny Lorcan's due to come back soon. So I'm really enjoying what they do here, so I'm excited about it. Then we had the main event. It was Leo Rush versus Tony Nese. I enjoyed this match. The finish was kind of weird, so they both fall off the turnbuckle, and then they were both about to get back into the ring, but Tony Nese actually doesn't. He throws Leo Rush over the announce table, gets into the ring, and wins by countout. I actually didn't hate this finish because it actually made Tony Nese look really smart, and it makes him look like he wants to win by any means necessary. 205 Live ever does finishes like this, so it does feel special when they do it. And I actually thought it really made Tony Nese's character look strong. I kind of wish at the end of the show instead, though, is Tony Nese could have beaten him clean. Well, not clean, but beat him via pinfall and actually joined up with Aria Daivari and the Brian Kendrick. But maybe that's coming soon. But really enjoyed this. I'm assuming we're going to get a match now at some point with Aria Daivari and the Brian Kendrick versus Tyler Breeze and Danny Burch and maybe, or Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch, and maybe that will be when Tony Nese joins up with the group. So I'm interested to see what they do here. I really enjoyed 205 Live. I thought it was a really good show. I'm going to give it an 86 out of 100. Just really good matches, and we're setting up, a faction with Aria Daivari and the Brian Kendrick, so I enjoy that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this show. And now I'm going to go over my predictions for the Royal Rumble tonight, since it's, almost 1 in the morning. There's only 8 matches, which makes sense. The show is 5 hours long, and then 2 hours of them alone are going to the Royal Rumble matches. So I think that makes sense. I kind of hope they do something this year, though, where they put the Rumble early enough on the card that it doesn't kill the crowd, because I've noticed that's been an issue the past couple of years when they've had 2 Royal Rumble matches. Whatever match is following it's going to suffer, so I hope that kind of happens. Maybe put the women's in the beginning and then the men's at the end, or vice versa. I think when it comes to the winner, it's all going to depend on who's in it. I could see the men's being the main event since Brock Lesnar's in it, but I could see it also opening the show since Brock Lesnar's in it, since, it depends on how much he wants to work that day, but maybe he can get out of there early enough, so we'll see. But yeah, there's 8 matches. I'm slightly excited. The Royal Rumble I always get excited for because it sets the tone for, or it's supposed to set the tone for WrestleMania. So, I like the Royal Rumble for those reasons. And the card itself looks decent. I'm more interested in the Raw matches than the Smackdown matches. Like, I'm pretty interested in Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. I think that could be a hell of a United States title match if given the time. I really hope they don't throw this on the pre-show, but I have a feeling they will since they've set this match up using social media versus doing it on Raw. So that kind of shows you what they think of that match. I'm looking forward to Becky Lynch versus Asuka, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with the Men's Rumble with Brock Lesnar being in it, and the women's. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do. Just in general, with no one really in it, a lot of surprises and stuff, and who could possibly win. It's kind of unpredictable, which is both Rumble matches have been like that, which hasn't happened in a while. But I'm not looking forward to some matches like Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a Falls Count Anywhere match, Shorty G versus Sheamus. The match could be good, but I'm really just not interested in that feud. But the match could really steal the show. Really not interested at all in Bayley versus Lacey Evans, so there's that. So this could be a really awesome show. The Rumble's been awesome the past couple of years. The 2018 Rumble was awesome when they had Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura win, and then the same thing with the 2019 Rumble when Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins both ended up winning. But the matches on those shows were awesome. We had an awesome Cruiserweight title match last year. We had, Brock Lesnar have an awesome match with Finn Balor last year. In 2018, we had Brock Lesnar just have some awesome matches. We had some returns. So we had Ronda Rousey debut in 2018. So I'm really excited about this. So this has potential. But I've said that before about WWE, and then we had the Hell in a Cell finish with The Fiend versus Seth Rollins that turned me off of WWE main roster wise for a few months. Still haven't really gotten it back that much. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to start breaking down the code though and stuff. So starting with the United States title match between Andrade and Humberto Carrillo. So I really haven't seen what Humberto Carrillo has done on the main roster, because that was kind of when I stopped watching it, basically when he got drafted to the main roster. But I know he was taken out by Andrade after he won a gauntlet match, and then obviously Andrade allowed Andrade to go in there and win the title. And now he's the champion. He returned this week on Raw and took out Andrade and challenged him to the match, and the match is official. This match could be awesome. They're both awesome wrestlers and really could steal the show at the Rumble if given the time and the opportunity. As for who should win, I really wish they waited to do this match, because I really think they could have instead done a spot in the Rumble where Humberto Carrillo eliminated Andrade, and that's how he gets his title match, and maybe you build that match all the way to WrestleMania or something. But I think Andrade is going to retain. He just won the title not that long ago. He had an awesome U.S. title ladder match against Rey Mysterio, and he's really getting pushed right now. So I think Andrade is going to get the win here. It makes sense. So Andrade retains the title. Then we have a SmackDown Women's title match. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Lacey Evans. Really not interested in this match at all. I don't really think it's going to be all that good. I say Bayley retains. I really don't see her losing the title. I don't see Lacey Evans really as a SmackDown Women's Champion. So, yeah, I say Bayley retains. I don't know if this feud is going to continue or not, because I know it's been going on for a while, but I say Bayley retains. Then we have Shorty G versus Sheamus. They could go either way. They could have Shorty G get the win so he could beat a credible guy like Sheamus, but this is also Sheamus' return, so he might win. And I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Sheamus is gonna win because he just returned. You need to make him look strong, and I think you could do something awesome with him at WrestleMania if given the chance. So I say Sheamus wins. Then we have the Falls Count Anywhere match between Roman Reigns and King Corbin. I really don't know how good this match will be. I really don't like this feud. But it could be awesome, them going all over the arena in a baseball stadium. So I think that could be great. But we'll see. I don't really think... I've seen them have a match together before, and it wasn't all that good. So really not that interested in this match. But I'm going to say Roman Reigns should get the win here. Just so that way, we can finally end this feud. Because I feel like that's this feud will not end until Roman Reigns wins, and then obviously this builds momentum for him to go into the Rumble. So I say Roman Reigns wins. Then we have the Raw Women's Championship match. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch versus Asuka. Really excited about this match. This match is a year in the making. They had the match last year where Asuka won, and Asuka's been that opponent that Becky Lynch cannot defeat. And they're doing the whole storyline where Becky Lynch won't renew a contract, unless she had gotten this match and such. So they could really do something where Asuka does win, and it makes people think that Becky Lynch is leaving and is going to go to, AEW, since everyone thinks that now. And I wouldn't mind if Asuka won because it keeps that story of Becky Lynch, so I think that would be cool. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to have Becky Lynch go into WrestleMania as champion. She's had the title for this long. Why not have her hold it for a year and go into Mania as champ? So I see Becky Lynch retaining, but I would love it if Asuka won. But I'm picking Becky Lynch. Then we have the strap match for the WWE Universal Championship. Universal Champion The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. I think they could do some nice stuff with the strap and stuff. What I'm not looking forward to this match is having to see the red light. It just really sucks. I would like if Daniel Bryan won, but I really don't see him winning. Because of the fact that, the Fiend's kicked his ass throughout this whole feud. It would be a nice feel-good moment for Daniel Bryan. I wouldn't mind Daniel Bryan going into WrestleMania as champion. But I think the Fiend's winning. mainly because I think they've had so much invested into The Fiend. I think he should just go into WrestleMania as champion, which sucks because with who I have was one of my picks for the Rumble, could beat him for the title, and I don't want that to happen. But I think The Fiend's going to go into WrestleMania as champ, so I think The Fiend's going to win. I don't think it'll be decisive like some of his matches. I think they'll have, more of a brutal match, maybe like more of the match that they had at the Royal Rumble. Not the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series just kicked up a few notches, so I think this match could be awesome. What sucks about the Fiend matches, like I said, is the red light, and now he moves now kind of so slow and stuff that it kind of makes his matches harder to get into, but whatever. Then we have the two Rumble matches, starting with the women's, which the participants, we have 9 of the 30 participants announced so far, which consist of Monday Night Raw's Charlotte Flair, Sarah Logan, and Natalya. And then we also have representing SmackDown, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. I am excited about the Rumble, mainly because, you don't really know who could be in it. You could see so many returns, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I'll be giving 3 predictions, a wild card, secondary, and a primary, and I'm also going to do 2 predictions of who I think will be surprise entrances. So as for my wild card, I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair. Never bet against Charlotte Flair. I think, I could easily see Charlotte Flair winning because the WWE really likes Charlotte Flair, and, they want to do something big with her at WrestleMania. You can either have her face Becky Lynch or Bayley. She has history with both of them. Or, even Asuka, because they have a history and stuff. So there's a lot of matches you could do with Charlotte Flair. I really don't want to see Charlotte Flair win because that would just feel forced. So my secondary is going to be Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda Rousey's going to come back and win the Royal Rumble match. Well, there's a good chance of that, because that way we can have the rematch between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, and I feel like, Ronda Rousey can kind of get the women's division going, make it the big segment because she's such a big star. So I say Ronda Rousey is my secondary pick. My primary is Shayna Baszler. I think Shayna Baszler is going to get called up to, not called up, like moved to the main roster after this. But Shayna Baszler winning the Royal Rumble sets up a lot of possibilities. You could do Bayley in a match, since she choked out Bayley at Survivor Series. You could do Becky Lynch because that's the match they really want to do is Becky versus Shayna, because that's, obviously has a lot of history with the 4 Horsewomen and stuff like that. But you could also have the questions of whether or not Shayna Baszler could challenge for the NXT Women's title and get an NXT on the card at WrestleMania. To kind of really, make it that third brand. So I think that would be cool. So those are my picks. My primary, Charlotte Flair. My secondary, Ronda Rousey. And my primary, Shayna Baszler. As for my surprise entrances, I see Io Shirai being a surprise entrance since she's been making a huge name for herself in NXT. So I see her being in the Royal Rumble match, and so they can do some type of thing like elimination spot. I think Kacy Catanzaro is going to be in the match. That's my surprise entrances. And then for the men's Rumble, and the participants are as such, representing Monday Night Raw, we have entering in at number 1 WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, Aleister Black, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Buddy Murphy, the other half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and R-Truth. Representing SmackDown, we have Roman Reigns, Elias, Ken Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, Tucker, Braun Strowman, Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston, and the other half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Big E, John Morrison, and The Miz. What sucks about this match is they have like 27 of the 30 entrances announced, so it kind of limits the surprise entrances. We're only going to get like 3 now, which really sucks. I kind of wanted some more. I kind of wish they had kept to that, format where they did 10 on Raw, 10 on SmackDown, and 10 on NXT, but only announced half the field, so that way we could kind of question who was going to be in it. So I'm doing a few predictions. I'm going to predict the same thing, my secondary pick, primary, and wild card. And I'm going to do who I think will be the surprise entrances. I'm also going to predict who number 2 will be and who will eliminate Brock Lesnar. So I'll start with my wild card, secondary, and primary pick. My wild card is going to be Edge. I think Edge could return and win the Royal Rumble, but it's really tough to know because he's been very discreet about it. But I think Edge is going to come back, which I would really like, and win the Royal Rumble. And maybe set up a match between him and Brock Lesnar. They could set up a match between him and The Fiend and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. But I could see Edge coming back and winning the Rumble because he would get such a big pop the second he comes out. I think him winning it would be a great choice. My secondary is going to be Roman Reigns. I just think they want to send... my secondary is going to be Drew McIntyre. I could see them doing big things with Drew McIntyre, maybe facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, eliminating him and then saying, hey, since I eliminated you, I will challenge you to a title match at WrestleMania and stuff. Or he could face The Fiend, because that would be an awesome match. But my primary is Roman Reigns. I think they want to put the title on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, have him face The Fiend, Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, which I really don't want to see. I just think, if you want to do that match at WrestleMania, so be it. I'm not going to like what happens to The Fiend, but I just think there's another way you can get there than just having Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble. I think, you could have Roman Reigns, since Elimination Chamber is the next pay-per-view, win the Elimination Chamber match and then qualify and get a title match. I think that's a better option instead of having him win the Rumble. That would just really suck. I know they want to put the title back on him, but I really don't want to see that, so we'll see. Plus, Roman Reigns, it would be so unbelievable since he's having that Falls Count Anywhere match earlier in the show, but I think they're going to put the title on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which really sucks. So as for my surprise entrances, I always pick The Undertaker because I love me some Undertaker. It is in Dallas this year, so I'm picking The Undertaker to be a surprise entrant. Maybe he does something, maybe eliminates Brock Lesnar, something like that. And I also think that the next guy, surprise entrant, it's going to be from NXT, and I think it's going to be Matt Riddle. I think Matt Riddle is going to come out and have a really impressive showing in the Royal Rumble match. So I think Matt Riddle will come out. And as for, I think, number 2 will be... So I think number 2 is going to be... I have 2 picks. One is Kofi Kingston, so that way they can kind of do that angle with him and Brock again. So I think it's going to be Kofi Kingston. So that way they can kind of maybe do some type of storyline that they did on the SmackDown's premiere episode on Fox. Or I could see number 2 being No Way Jose. Because I think they'll want to have a jobber be in there to really build up Brock Lesnar. So I think I could see Brock Lesnar just building himself up and throwing people out. So I'm going to say No Way Jose. As for who eliminates Brock Lesnar, I think it's either going to be Drew McIntyre or I'm going to go out on a limb and say Matt Riddle. Maybe do a match between him and Matt Riddle at WrestleMania, because I think that'd be awesome. That way maybe Brock Lesnar would want to show up in NXT. So I think that'd be great. And that's my Royal Rumble predictions. I'll repeat them since I went on a little long. So I predict Andrade to retain the United States title, Bayley to retain the SmackDown Women's title, Sheamus to beat Shorty G, Roman Reigns to beat King Corbin, Becky Lynch to retain the Raw Women's title, The Fiend Bray Wyatt to retain the Universal title, and my 3 Royal Rumble winners, wild card Charlotte Flair, secondary Ronda Rousey, primary Shayna Baszler. My surprise entrances being Io Shirai and Casey Catanzaro. And for the men's, my wild card being Edge, my secondary being Drew McIntyre and my primary being Roman Reigns. My surprise entrances being Undertaker and Matt Riddle. And then my entrant at number 2 being No Way Jose and Kofi Kingston. And then who eliminates Brock Lesnar to be Drew McIntyre, like I said, and Matt Riddle. I think that's what I said. I want to make sure. Yeah, I think it was Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle. So those are my predictions for the Royal Rumble, and that's the whole video. Really didn't take me that long. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell, so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and On the Talking to the YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later. And enjoy the Royal Rumble this Sunday. Or hope you did enjoy it, because you're probably not seeing this video right afterwards. But talk to you guys later.